Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the Noon News from Montana's news leader.
Good afternoon. We're so glad you could join us today. I'm Aja Goare. Our top story this half hour, North Korea claims it now has a missile that could reach anywhere in the U.S., including Washington, D.C. The rogue nation launched its latest intercontinental ballistic missile Wednesday. CBS's Mola Langi has the story.
North Korean state TV announced today the rogue nation's launch of its newest and longest range missile, the Hwasong-15. North Koreans applauded when the report showed their leader, Kim Jong-un, signing the launch order. In July, North Korea twice test-fired the Hwasong-14, the less powerful predecessor of the new missile. During Tuesday's launch, the ballistic missile was purposely lofted high into space and reached a maximum altitude of nearly 2,800 miles. Analysts say if it fired on a standard trajectory, the missile could travel approximately 8,100 miles, far enough to hit anywhere in the United States.
It went higher, frankly, than any previous shot they've taken.
The missile stayed in the air for 63 minutes before splashing into the Sea of Japan. Shortly after the launch, President Trump said the U.S. will handle the threat. This morning, he tweeted additional major sanctions will be imposed on North Korea. The United Nations Security Council meets in emergency session today to denounce North Korea's latest act of aggression. It's still not known if North Korea's new missile could support an actual nuclear warhead and survive re-entry into the Earth's atmosphere. On Tuesday, Hawaii previewed its new emergency sirens. Officials are urging people to be prepared for a worst-case scenario. Mola Langi, CBS News, the White House.
North Korea has now launched 20 missiles this year. Wednesday's test was done in the middle of the night and used a mobile launch pad, making it much more difficult to detect. With the Senate Budget Committee's approval of the measure, President Trump takes his push for tax reform to Missouri today. At least 9 GOP senators have expressed concerns about the bill for various reasons, including repealing Obamacare's individual mandate, taxes on small businesses, and deductions for property taxes. To win over senators worried about the deficit, GOP leaders agreed to include a provision that will automatically trigger increased taxes if the bill fails to stimulate the economy. The Budget Committee voted to move the bill forward with a straight party line vote. Today Show host Matt Lauer has been fired for what NBC calls inappropriate sexual behavior in the workplace. His co-host Savannah Guthrie made the announcement on this morning's show. In a statement, NBC said the network received a detailed complaint and has reason to believe it may not have been an isolated incident. Lauer is the latest high-profile media figure to lose his job following accusations of sexual misconduct. Last week, CBS News fired Charlie Rose, and earlier this year, Fox News fired Bill O'Reilly. Bighorn County prosecutors plan to recommend a hardened man spend 50 years in prison for beating his 2-year-old daughter to death earlier this year with a belt. 23-year-old Dana Redding Jr. pleaded guilty Tuesday to deliberate homicide for the murder of his daughter Isabella. Through a plea agreement, prosecutors will dismiss charges of aggravated assault and assault with a weapon. Redding said at the hearing he did not intend to kill his daughter. Redding's wife, Cavanna Grace George, allegedly knew Redding had beat their daughter before, but never reported the abuse. She faces a charge of criminal child endangerment, but maintains her innocence. After the beating, authorities were called to the Hardin home and found the victim unresponsive. Medical staff said the girl had severe bruising all over her body and an open head wound. Redding's sentencing is set for January. A high-speed chase across 3 Montana counties ends with the suspect's arrest. It started Tuesday afternoon when Sidney Amesback allegedly stole a vehicle at gunpoint in Helena. Broadwater County Sheriff's deputies spotted the vehicle and initiated a chase with speeds topping out at 110 miles per hour. Montana Highway patrolmen used spike strips and eventually stopped the Great Falls woman near Willow Creek. Amesback was arrested after barricading herself in the vehicle for 30 minutes. She's being held on a $100,000 bond and faces charges of robbery and theft. At this year's annual memorial service for Montana Highway Patrol Trooper David DeLate, a special saluting cross will stand tall. That cross, created by veteran Ed Walter. Walter put his heart into these saluting crosses, which he makes by hand for families who lost someone in the line of duty. Walter says he continues making these pieces so he can hear people's stories. The memorial service for Trooper DeLate is set for Friday at the memorial site in Three Forks. Gallatin County commissioners are interested in joining other Montana counties to sue opioid manufacturers for abuse of opioid drugs. In the county, 53 people have died from opioid overdoses this year alone. Commissioners say they want to prevent these deaths and save taxpayers money. Anaconda Deer Lodge County has already expressed interest in joining that lawsuit. Laurel's mayor-elect may not be able to take the position because he is currently a city employee. That conclusion made at last night's city council meeting. Laurel Mayor-elect Dave Wagner was told he has to choose, either continue his current position as a water treatment operator or become the city's next mayor. Under Laurel's charter, the mayor has complete authority to terminate employees of the city. Wagner said he does not want to challenge the legality of the city charter, but won't give up. He has until January 2nd to make a decision. If he declines the mayor job, council would interview and appoint someone for the position, which comes with a $10,000 salary. The city of Bozeman will consider joining onto a motion with 380 other cities to support the Paris Climate Agreement. President Trump announced earlier this year the U.S. would withdraw from the climate agreement, but Bozeman Mayor Carson Taylor says he disagrees with that decision and believes Bozeman should support the plan to help reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Meanwhile, city commissioners have created a plan to lower the city's carbon footprint with the goal of lower emissions by 10% from levels in 2008 to 2025. We turn now to the weather scene with Ed McIntosh for a check-in on how we're looking around the state.
And we are going to start off with a look ahead because December is almost here. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on. Cooler with the readings across northern Montana, likely a little cooler than we would typically see. This is an La Nina pattern that could be warmer as we start looking through the southern portion of the U.S. And as far as precipitation goes, we'll be trending a little bit wetter through the northern portion of the country, and some of that could be especially right through north central Montana. And again, those are just the way that things would lean for overall during the month. Take a closer look at the short-term forecast in a few minutes.
Thanks, Ed. We'll check back in. Bridger Bowl could not open as planned on Black Friday, and Hill owners spent $10 million on renovations. They're still waiting to put that investment to use. MTN's Kenneth Webb shows us what's new on the mountain and when it might open.
This year we had all that great early snow in November that came in and gave us a really great base, and it was looking really good. And so with that in mind, we had decided to open up for a couple of long weekends before the December 8th full-time opening date. Unfortunately, a couple days leading up into Thanksgiving Day, the warm winds and the rain that we received really played havoc here, especially in the base area, but across the mountain, and we lost considerable amount of snow.
Bridger Bowl was also disappointed that they couldn't open up on Black Friday.
You know, we're disappointed too when we can't open when we hope that we can open, and so we look forward to it. We certainly had a lot of people up on the hill and hiking and climbing and skiing. We like to oblige that as best we can, but overall people have understood and realize that the weather does what the weather does.
On the bright side, Bridger Bowl has added several new features for this upcoming winter season.
Collectively, we have a really nice 7-acre beginners area with the beginner surface lifts for new folks to use to get up on the hill, and has a nice 10% slope.
They have added a new triple chairlift at the base of the mountain, which will increase the amount of skiers and boarders up to the top.
We'll be able to move a lot more people out of the base area, increases the uphill capacity over 25–27%.
They have also completed a long-awaited Saddle Peak Lodge.
We've completed our Saddle Peak Lodge, and that was a 2-year project.
Reporting from Bridger Bowl, Kenneth Webb, MTN News.
Thank you so much, Kenneth. Still ahead on the noon news, police in Florida catch a serial killer at a fast food restaurant. We'll tell you more about that investigation when we come back. But first, Ed has our weather forecast. Stay with us.
You're watching MTN News with Aja Goare. Storm